Have you ever hired a new team member only to lose them after a day, a week, or even months where you've invested a lot of time, energy, and money into them and then they leave? That is the worst. So that is why I'm so excited to be talking with you today about how to properly onboard a new Medspa employee so that they actually stay. And today I have a special guest, Jonathon McLean, owner of McLean Aesthetics, who has a premier staffing and recruiting agency with extensive experience at hiring the best talent in the med spa industry. Welcome, Jonathon.
Wow, thank you so much, Katlin, for that intro.
Jonathon, tell us how losing and having a high turnover rate with employees is detrimental to a med spa and it's holding them back.
As you just said, my name is Jonathon McLean. I've been in the staffing and recruiting industry for several years, strictly in the med spa, dermatology, and plastic surgery space. And one of the biggest problems that practice has is keeping great talent for long periods of time. Every time a med spa loses an injector, they are losing thousands of dollars per day. And you want to have somebody in there really injecting and being the best in your market. So I really want to touch on that point today.
No holds bar. Come on, give it to us, Jonathon. How can we help these med spas decrease their turnover rate by properly onboarding their team members?
So there's a couple of things I see at a lot of these med spas when they're opening up. They don't know the market and what these injectors are looking for. One of the main things I see, and a lot of companies try to do this, they try to lowball providers and give them maybe the bare minimum in the market. That is an absolute no-go, and I'm going to tell you why right now. The reason it's a no-go is because potentially they might be someone in the market that is willing to accept that low rate, but they're not going to stay, and you're going to constantly have turnover. If you pay your staff member well, and I mean well in the market for their skill set, they will stay for long periods of time. Now, that's not the only thing it takes for an employee to stay for a long period of time, but pay rate is very important because it's their way of living, right? It's their lifestyle that they have. When people go to work, it's not just work. It's more of a work, and I need relaxation too. And people want to be rewarded for their hard work. So pay rate incentives are going to be the number one thing that practices must adhere to when bringing on a new injector, I would say.
You got to show them the money, right? Let's just say that your compensation plan is on point. All right. What's the next box that you got to check?
This is important when interviewing any one of the staff members that you're looking to bring on. Are they strong in your culture? Are they strong in what you believe in? The reason that's so important, because I see a lot of times people interview for practices, they're doing well because both parties don't know each other. And then something comes up, whether the way the person has to sell to a clientele or the things that the practice wants you to do that you're not comfortable with. And it's automatically, I have to separate, and that causes turnovers. I say culture is big. Like, I know some practices like to have outdoor events. They like to have extra events for their med spa. Is the person you're bringing on going to be willing to go to those events, or do they just want to work and go home? And is that type of environment that you have where they can work and go home? Or is it more of an extensive, hey, this is going to be more than just working here. It's going to be more like a team atmosphere that we're going to do extra things. I say, look for culture in the person that you're bringing on. Emphasize that when doing the first interview or any of the interviews.
I love that. Full disclosure, this is how we do things at, Blush Med Spa. We expect you to attend X amount of events per year. We expect you to mentor a less experienced team member. We expect you to make 2-week follow-up phone calls to your patients. Tell them exactly their role responsibilities and their expectation. That's like a no-brainer, right? But so few med spas are actually doing that.
And number 3, I think on the list is definitely carrying out the whole compensation package. And what I mean by carrying out the whole compensation package is there are a couple things. So right now in this industry, it's not really called up to health insurance, right? A lot of people do not offer health insurance. If you can somehow get that in your budget, you stand out and get to 90% of the med spas in the industry, which means you only have the best injector in your practice. So let's go ahead and go beyond and get the benefits that you can't afford without putting yourself too much in debt or putting yourself at a bad risk in the beginning. I also think if you're gonna say during your offer letter, I'm gonna offer these benefits, please do not wait 3 to 6 months after the employee has been hired to give them those benefits. They are always looking at what you're doing, and it does not stop once they get that offer letter. Please carry out exactly what you say you're gonna do. If you're gonna give them health insurance, 401k, et cetera, let's carry those out in a timely manner so then they feel as though safe and they feel as though they can trust you and they feel more reliable to the company.
You're making some interesting points in the sense of a lot of times I feel like med spas, when they hire on new people, make offers for new employees, it's like from the hip, right? Or like, I'll pay you this, come on board. You're really looking at it from like a business perspective of formalizing things, having compensation packages, incentives. You're doing your market research. That's not always like just something that someone may know how to do. So if they needed help with this, if they really want to be competitive in hiring the best talent in the market, who could they, like you, Jonathon, rely on or look to help find talent, build out those compensation and offer packages?
I rely on this on my team when I'm hiring and when I'm outsourcing and things like that. And I think it's important that everybody in business kind of rely on this also, is partner yourself with an expert, right? And like myself, I consider myself a recruiter or recruiting, a part of what I do, but I'm an expert in this field, meaning I only focus on this industry so I can get the insights, the knowledge, and what's really going on, what's trending in the market right now. And I think that's the biggest problem that practices make. They're always trying to find what's the cheapest option for me to succeed in this market. But if you want to succeed long-term, if you want to really make a boom in the market, you have to partner yourself with experts in that field, whether it's the best recruiting agency or it's the best lawyer that's knowledgeable about what's going on, or consultant, or et cetera, et cetera. And that's how you build the best type of company that people want to be at, people want to work at, and that's going to go for a long time. You
know, you just gave me an idea, Jonathon. So I'm a big believer in telling business owners, my Medspa clients, like you, who is on your board of directors and has a seat at your table. Of course, you know, you have an attorney. If you're not your own medical director, you might have a medical director, you have your accountant, you have your marketing partner, right? Maybe you have a business coach, but you should absolutely potentially have a relationship with a recruiter that can hire top talent for you as well. So you just gave me that idea. That should be a seat at your table, because, you know, the reality is, as you grow, you're going to need to grow with attracting and hiring more talent. And the more you grow and level up your game, the more important this is going to be, and not just rely on, you know, putting it on Craigslist or Indeed and see who bites at it, because it's a pretty small industry, right? There's a lot of talking, and people don't always just feel comfortable responding to a job application. That's not how you find the best talent. So I really understand the need and the role of having a recruiting agency that understands the industry and can really help see this through for you.
Truth of the matter really is, the best type of candidate is not the one on Indeed. It's the one that already has a job and doing successful in their practice that they're already in. And maybe they're looking for a little more, but they're not like out searching. They need someone like me or in the market to come and speak to them and tell them what's out there. Usually a lot of practices that maybe try to like what they call poach, it doesn't look too good, unfortunately, because you are a competing practice. But having that third party really gives you the benefit of being the best in your market.
If our viewers have questions or want to contact you, where can they find you at?
I do a lot of content. So I'm on social media, Jonathon McLean, JONATHAN MCLEAN. And if you want to email me, you can email me at CEO@McLeanaesthetics.com. And that's CEO@McLeanaesthetics.com.
So whether you are a med spa looking for top talent, or maybe you are a provider yourself that's looking for a job change, relocation, or just wonder what's available or what opportunities are out there, make sure that you contact Jonathon McLean. His services are 100% confidential, guys, so no worries there. And he has exciting opportunities all over the country. So make sure that you reach out and connect with Jonathon. Jonathon, thanks so much for connecting and sharing your great tips with us today.
Yes. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.